Canada. Boy, they sure showed Trump a thing or two. No kidding. We're not going to become the 51st state. We're going to become the 24th or whatever it is, 24th province of China. Got another one here from Vox Populi, this account here, at the WF in Davos. This time he's got CEO of RBC.
Mr. McKay, would you mind if I ask you a few questions about banking in Canada?
So it's right now, thanks.
Well, no, some of my followers in Canada, they were very alarmed about when the government of Canada managed to actually freeze digital assets.
I'm not going to comment, thanks.
But can you at least agree that that's a bad thing, that the government can do that? Does the Royal Bank of Canada...
He's not going to answer that. Mark Carney's brought in guys from RBC like Doug Guzman. He's a banker himself. There's no way this guy's going to answer that question.
approve of such actions? Do you think the truckers were right to do their convoy to protest the authoritarian regime in Canada?
This guy's a loser, greedy banker just like all the rest. So he goes on to ask a whole bunch of questions. He doesn't answer any of them, obviously. Moving ahead, we've got Donald Trump coming out with another message here on Truth Social. Canada is against the Golden Dome being built over Greenland, even though the Golden Dome would protect Canada. Instead, they voted in favor of doing business with China, who will eat them up within the first year. So, as I said, Donald Trump, his initial remarks say, yeah, that's good. Carney got a deal with China. That's what he should be doing. And now he's coming back and blasting him. I knew this wouldn't last. This is what Donald Trump does. He doesn't want to show his hand right away until it's time for him to show his hand. We got this guy here, Michael Murphy, litigation lawyer out of Halifax, saying this is a White House announcement. It's not just an off-the-cuff remark by Donald Trump. Carney canceled his press conference an hour ago. Something's happening. Now, this happened multiple hours ago at this point, but right from the White House account quoting Donald Trump here, what he just said. And what do we get as a press conference? We got Francois Philippe Champagne. Mark Carney too scared to come out and give his press conference. Champagne's got to step in for him.
I'm Mr. Champagne, Olivia Stepanovich, CBC News. We're glad to see you here, but with respect, we were hoping to put questions to the Prime Minister. Can you explain to us why he isn't being made available?
Well, I'm glad you're happy to see me because I'm so glad to see you as well. So it's a good thing. Scheduling issue. Prime Minister is being available. I understand in the last few days will be available next week, but there was...
Stop lying to Canadians. Just say he's scared of the media after Donald Trump's comments. Like, that's the honest truth here. It's not a scheduling issue.
Some scheduling issue, so that's why I'm happy to report back on the work.
But it's been several days since he took questions with respect, and those questions were abroad. He hasn't taken any questions since his two major speeches, including the one in Davos.
Well, I was there.
Look at these eyes scanning upwards, looking for an answer up there. Where's that answer? I don't know. This is a textbook example of somebody who doesn't like the question they're getting and trying to find a way to answer it in a way that is not truthful, because the truth is Mark Carney's scared to answer questions from the media.
For the speech in Davos, and you will have seen, like me, that he said loud what many were thinking privately. And I think this speech, for me, speaks to the strength of our values, speaks to...
Let me guess, pick me, and the values of our strength? These guys are clowns. They're ruining our country.
The strength of Canada's position in the world. And I think it's going to be a speech that will be remembered for a long time. I can tell you, we have had echoes from around the world about that speech. It was delivered in a way that inspired, was also providing a vision for middle power. And really, it's Canada leading on the world stage with the strength of our values. And I think this is what Canadians wanted to see from their prime ministers.
No, we want to see a deal. That's why Mark Carney got elected by Canadians. Not me. I didn't vote for that guy. But Canadians thought he would be able to get a deal with Donald Trump. They thought Mr. Banker must be the steady hand. He'll get the job done. Unfortunately, Canadians did not research Mark Carney. They're not watching media that tells the truth. And we ended up with a crooked, corrupt banker running our country.
Why can't you answer questions about it then?
Sorry, sir, I could not.
Why can't you answer questions about it?
Listen.
What about Trump's comments about NATO forces?
No, I'm happy.
Incredibly insulting. Or Scott Besson's comments about Alberta separatism?
This is utter embarrassment. This is just a humiliating mockery of a press conference. Mark Carney just looks so weak, not being able to talk to reporters. Are you kidding me? Even CBC is calling him out here.
I'm happy if you want to take the mic, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Écoutez, ce que je vous ai dit d'abord, M. Carney.
So they go into French for a whole bunch here.
And what does this mean for the state of relations between Canada and the U.S. going forward, as well as the CUSMA review?
Well, Canada has always played a key role when it came to Gaza and the two-state solution, and will continue to do that. The Prime Minister has been actively engaged and will continue to be actively engaged. And when it comes to our relationship with our southern neighbor, there's always discussions ongoing on a number of topics on a range.
That's bullcrap. That's not what's happening. And he talks about Gaza and two-state solution. Mark Carney didn't want to join Donald Trump's Board of Peace, which the first mission that I guess this board is supposed to go around the world and offer solutions, peace for different countries. And Gaza is the first one. That's why it's not written in there, because it's not designed for Gaza, but Gaza is the first location. And in regards to that, we've got Anita Nand asked about this situation, and she runs from reporters too. So this whole thing is in French. And this is just the end here where she starts to run away when they're not wanting to take questions from people.
This way. Okay, boys, on laisse la place.
So they hound her down. They keep asking her. So she comes back and now she answers it in English.
Yeah, all right. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I'm not going anywhere. You don't have to get so close.
I know.
Listen, all through our values have been clear. Hamas should have no role in the future governance of Palestine. Hamas must demilitarize and disarm.
More of the same jargon here. Oh, they shouldn't have this, shouldn't have that. They never put their money where their mouth is. Should have joined Trump's Board of Peace. It would have made it smoother to get a deal with Kuzma. Obviously, Carney's not going to do that. Now, regarding this whole situation of Trump putting this out, Carney canceling his press conference over this. I see posts like this. Roland Paris, professor and director. Of course, it's another professor. U.S. trade with China, $582 billion US dollars. Canada's trade with China, $86 billion US dollars. U.S. trades more with China, and Trump himself is trying to negotiate a trade deal with China. This is fine and all, but once again, America holds all the power. Liberal voters think that just because America has something more, then we're entitled to the same level, but we're not. Power is power. You have to acknowledge when a country, a person, a situation, when someone has more power, more strength, someone pops out of nowhere and puts a pew-pew to your head, they have all the power in that situation. It's up to you to then negotiate out of that situation as best as possible and not get pew-pewed. In this situation, we need to get a deal with Donald Trump, USMCA, all the sectoral tariffs, get rid of that stuff. Life is not fair. This is a lesson I learned very early in my life. Life is not fair. It doesn't matter that America has more trade with China and thus we should be able to do just as much. We need to go get a deal with America first, and then we can go and diversify afterwards once something is locked in. Yet so many left